Hello and welcome to the debut edition of the ECCHO podcast, where we will illuminate the efforts of our staff, students, community members, and business partners as they work to keep Goochland County Public Schools among the elite in Virginia. Today I'm proud to be joined by Mr. Andy Meiller, principal at Byrd Elementary School. Mr. Meiller, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good. You are the first new principal at Byrd in 25 years.
How about that?
How's that going?
It's going amazingly well, like better than I could ever imagine.
Okay. I remember the day we met to talk about this opportunity. You showed up in my office with a paper bag.
I did.
And I'm wondering, what is this guy going to do with this bag? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I called that my prop for my interview and all the interviews that I had. And it said, open in case of interview.
Inside.
Did. That's right, you did. Still have the bag in my office. It's the bag contained an original Byrd Primary, not elementary, Byrd Primary School t-shirt from 1976.
1976.
The bicentennial year for our wonderful country. And it was when I was in about maybe first grade, because in 1974 I came here as a kindergartner, and in 2024 I came here as a principal.
Wow.
50 years later.
Wow. Isn't that awesome?
Exactly 50 years.
So you're 3/4 of the way through your first year of leadership. Tell us about it. I want to hear all about it.
I've been really just so happy with the reception I've gotten and the support I've gotten from the kids, obviously, to start off with, the families, the support of the community. The staff is fantastic here at Byrd, and all the support I've gotten from you guys in central office, and just the communities, the Goochland communities, the Goochland Schools community have really helped me out.
In one of our conversations that we've had recently, I remember sharing with you that for me it would be unimaginable to go from being a teacher in a building to the principal in that same building. Talk to me a little bit about that transition for you.
Sure. I think I had a unique, because before I've been a classroom teacher, but then I was also the PE teacher here for the last 5 or 6 years. And so I had sort of a unique situation to where I was already knowing all the kids, basically kindergarten through 5th. And then I also knew the teachers in different ways, from being a parent here at the school, because both my kids went here, and then also being a longtime teacher here. So I think I had sort of established a rapport with everybody and just a sense of camaraderie already.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was that hard of a transition for me as you might think.
Was there ever a time when someone trash talked administration? Maybe you joined in and now you are administration.
I'll tell you, that's a very good question. And I'll say, as most people know, that I was in the military before, and I think I learned a long time ago that I keep my opinions to myself, and I respect the authorities around me.
That's a good survival technique, not only in educational leadership, but professional survival everywhere.
I like to keep my thoughts to myself. Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about what inspired you to pursue this particular opportunity, separate and apart from your affiliation with Byrd.
Sure. So I had been a teacher about 8 years.
Okay.
I was a classroom teacher, multiple grades. And during those first 8 years is when I got my admin degree. And so I always thought I wanted to get into administration, but I just didn't know when. And an opportunity showed up for me to work in Albemarle County, Charlottesville City area, to be an administrator. I was an assistant principal. And I liked the job, but I think I wanted to do more in the classroom and also in the athletic fields. I coached different sports. And so I left administration, went back into the classroom. Then I became a PE teacher, but always part of me said I wanted to get back to administration.
Sure.
And when this spot opened, when Mr. Hopkins decided to retire, I said, if I'm ever going to get back into it, this would be the perfect spot. I live 10 minutes from here. My family here, obviously I went here, I grew up here. My wife went to the school. And so it was a dream, just the perfect opportunity for me.
And I bet jumping from the classroom as a PE teacher, that's like the one course where you get to know every kid 100%. Because when they have encore, you're it. You're the 100%. PE teacher. So everybody minus your new kindergartners this year, you already had familiarity with.
100%. And I knew even some of the kindergartners if they were in preschool last year. If anything, that would be the one when you talked about any difficulty transition. There was a time when they had to get used to me not wearing my shorts and athletic wear, but also, PE teacher, fun guy, playing around all the time. And sometimes I can't always play around. I've got to sort of put on a more serious face and serious tone when needed.
So let's pivot a little bit.
Sure.
Get away from shop. I see you're wearing a Longwood Lancer shirt. What's your affiliation with Longwood University?
My son goes there. My son, Drew, is a Goochland High School graduate. He is at Longwood as a sophomore in the ROTC program. He's going to be an Army officer.
That is awesome.
And so he's home on spring break this week, and he's doing great.
Fantastic. We have that in common. My oldest daughter is a graduate of Longwood University.
That's right.
And living her best adult life as a news director out in Norfolk. So,
oh my gosh.
Great university. She really enjoyed her time there.
I have to say my wife also is a Longwood Lancer. So
fantastic. Wonderful school. So you've been here now 3/4 of the year.
Sure.
You've gotten a feel for what it's like leading the building. If you had to identify one thing today that you're most proud of, something that's legacy building for you, what would that one thing be?
I would say the communication with my staff. One of my number one thing, what I really wanted to do is I wanted every staff member to feel that this is a great place to work. And I wanted our staff to feel this is where I want to go every day and be happy at work and be supported at work. I think if you have that, especially in a school situation, if you have that, everything else is going to fall in line.
It's pretty magical once you get that.
100%. And so our staff is real. I love the teachers at our school. And I think if they're happy and content, it's natural. They're going to work harder, and they're already dedicated. They wouldn't be doing the job if they weren't dedicated to the kids. So I wasn't worried about that. I was more worried about, is this a place they want to come every day to work?
Is there anything that keeps you up at night?
At this point, no. Okay. I feel really good about stuff, and I think I'm trying to stay organized enough to where I'm not scrambling. And when you stay up late at night, a lot of times when you have to scramble to get something done. And so I'm trying to stay ahead of everything so where I'm not scrambling and worried about stuff as much.
How have you managed the strain on your time? I imagine that you're a lot busier now than you were 365 days ago.
I am.
Okay. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. One thing I think I'm very lucky is I have two kids, and one is my son Drew, who's a college sophomore, and my daughter's already graduated college. She graduated from George Mason last year. If I had younger kids, I think this would be more difficult balance. But because I don't have younger kids, that I can really dedicate my time.
Sure.
But I do. I live 10 minutes from here. Okay. So if I need to, like even during our summer hours, if I need to run home and see the dog and make myself a sandwich, I can do that. And I know I have a really good situation here.
You do.
So I do balance the time. I'm pretty good. I take care of myself. I take care of my health. And I think if I can do all that and keep it up, I'll do all right.
Let me just say, we're blessed to have you here at this school.
I'm so lucky.
I think I speak for a community when I say that. I remember when the posting on social media came that you were going to be the principal. Right. I believe that thing got over 500 likes, which during my tenure here is the most liked social media post that we have had, to include my kooky weather post on snow days. So a lot of popularity, a lot of familiarity, and I just appreciate the work you're doing here.
Well, I tell you, I've said this 100 times. I still feel I don't take anything for granted. This is a great school. It's a small school. I love the country feel that we still have and the community feel. And I don't take it for granted, but I really am humbled by it. And I feel very lucky to have this job. I really do.
So another off-topic question. Yeah. We're now in the NFL new year, and free agency is well underway. Yes. Talk to me about your team. Who do you like? So
I grew up as a Redskins / Washington football team / Commanders fan.
That's a good thing to be today.
That's right. So that's what I grew up as. And as a youth, I was very lucky because they went to 4 Super Bowls and won 3. And I was spoiled. And then for the past 20 plus years, I've been miserable with football. My second favorite team are the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And they've also been pretty bad for the last 20 plus years. And they've had some decent success. So I'm really happy.
It takes great courage to admit that you're affiliated with the Cleveland Browns.
The Browns and the Browns and the Commanders are my teams. My son's favorite team is the Chargers, so I follow them as well. But yeah, I got lucky this year with the Commanders. Yeah. They played well, and I respect it. And I don't care what the record is if they're playing well and playing hard.
They've got a good young team. They've got an excellent quarterback on a rookie contract. Been very busy in free agency.
I'm a big football fan.
Like half the league, they've taken advantage of all the players we're trying to unload in San Francisco for whatever reason. So
no, I'm a big football. It's my favorite sport to watch. I grew up playing soccer. I never played football, but I'm a big football fan.
As am I.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Meiller, you just made history, my friend. You were the inaugural guest on the ECCHO podcast. I want to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir, very much. I appreciate it.